Everybody on this call likes to read. A love of words and reading is the gateway drug, so to speak, to writing. And we all know that leads to open mics and related scurrilous activities. So I thought, what was my gateway drug, gateway to a love of words, reading, and writing? What about yours? Reel back to those earliest influences. What were they? Dr. Seuss, Dick and Jane, the Bobbsey twins, Pokey Little Puppy, picture books about baby animals or dinosaurs, children's Bible stories? Let's wind back to 1961 in the book my landlady back in Texas used to teach me to read when I was 3. That was the Arnold Primer, copyright 1901 by Silver Burdett and Company. This Arnold Primer bears a precise script signature, date, and location. Joseph Holiday Spillman, Mission, Texas, September 14th, 1914. It opens with a word to the children to be read to them by the teacher, and that says, "Children, here is a new book for you. It is a picture book and a storybook. You have bright eyes to see the pictures and you have ears to hear the stories. The primer will tell you about Ned and Kate and Dot and Dan, other little boys and girls, about their toys, their games, their homes, and their friends." The book has charming photographs and etchings of children in late Victorian clothing. A typical passage, quote, "Kate can read and write. She can write with pen and ink. See her pen and ink. She can write a letter. See her letter. Can you write?" Well, I treasure the memories of learning about Ned's drum, Kate's kitty, and their pleasant childhood world. Now consider a book I recently acquired, The School Reader, second book, part of the Sanders series of school books. With a copyright of 1840, this copy goes back to November 1851. That's because a man, or more likely a boy, named Lewis B. Richards wrote his elegant signature several times in the front of the book along with the date. It looks like something from the Declaration of Independence. The School Reader is a window into another era. Each lesson in Sanders begins with a vocabulary list and then a story with a strong moral lesson, some from the Bible. How to be a good girl and boy, kindness to animals, being friends with schoolmates who are outsiders. The lessons truly are timeless. The details of stories can match anything found in Edith Wharton's Tales of Upper-Class Lifestyles. These aren't stories about child laborers in grim New England mills. For example, Lesson 6. Mrs. Morris had asked her little girl at least 10 times to make haste and drink her tea, but she did not mind her. She did nothing but play silly tricks, sometimes stirring her tea as fast as she could to make a tea leaf turn around in the cup, then pouring it into her saucer so she would put bits of crust to swim in, and then she called them her boats and her ships. Her mother left the room, and when she came back, she had on her bonnet and shawl, ready to ride. "But," she said, "Charlotte, my daughter, I am very sorry you've been so naughty, for I meant to have taken you to the garden with me." Well, Charlotte missed out on the gardens, didn't get up into the carriage, so she hid in her room. So the girls in the kitchen might not laugh at her. Wow, we're in Downton Abbey territory here. As the story ends, quote, "She was always careful after this to obey her mother as soon as she was spoken to." So what do new readers learn these days? Well, I should ask my young relatives in Texas. I sent them a picture book for Christmas signed by the illustrator for extra emphasis. My son, now 28, learned to read at an early age as his mother and I constantly read to him. Later on, he developed a taste for Captain Underpants books. I'm not sure what moral lessons could be drawn from that series, but maybe I just need to do a close postmodern metatextual analysis of Captain Underpants and what it really means. I love that in the story from the Sanders series used the word naughty. The last time I used that word, I'm pretty sure it must have been in an instant messaging chat on JDate 2007. Well, these books lift me back to my childhood, learning those letters, learning to write, unaware of an unimaginable life ahead of me. Now here I am 60 years later. Here's hoping that you can recall those times when you learned to read and share them with anybody in your life who's setting out on the path of reading, writing, and who knows, open mics. Thank you.